All right, Coach will give opening comment and then be available for your questions.
Okay, for us, it's Sam Houston week, so and that means that we're nearing the end of the season, and this is our last home stand for our seniors. So excited about the opportunity for these guys to step on the field. Obviously, coming off a contest versus Western Kentucky was not the outcome that we wanted in terms of how we played, but I thought there was some uh, monumental moments, man, for a young quarterback and Roman Gagliano, and I feel like for us, like this week, being able to get a couple guys back, healthy, especially on the defensive side of the ball, can help us uh, as we get ready to play Sam Houston. So I'm just uh, looking forward to getting back to practice, understanding what these game plans will mean, but really just trying to do what we can to make sure that we send these seniors out like for their last game the right way. So with that, I'll open it up for questions.
Coach, looking at the quarterback situation, do you expect Nick to play this week, or is Roman going to fill in for him again?
Roman's going to continue to play, man, until we know, what the complete status is. For right now, I mean, we'll take it week by week, and it's always a sprint to game time to be able to figure out exactly where we go.
As that game went along Saturday and got to about the end of the third quarter, what changed in that ball game there? But because things were just back and forth, pretty even up to that point.
Yeah, man, it got to a point where it was a 3-point ball game, and for us, we needed to get some stops. Defensively, we needed to get some stops. I think like this group, it's been running as hard as it can run, with the idea that we need to make some things happen. But we're just continuing to make sure that we can motor through with some of the guys who are now getting extensive reps. I look at a young Chris Noble. I look at man, Corey Smith. I look at some guys up front, and those guys aren't the guys that are, that have continually showed up in those situations. And so for us, we have to probably rotate guys a little more early so that we can have some of those horses available to us late. Because when you looked at the run game, we bled, like a lot in the run game late in that ball game. I thought we were pretty good early, and they wound up having 4 runs that led to like 150 yards, and most of that came, late in that ball game. So for us, again, just fighting some of the attrition late in ball games to make good decisions, good run fits, and trying to find ways to get off the field on third down. Because I think giving the ball back to our offense, I think there's some things there even without the complement of weapons that we had. But getting some of those guys back should be good for us this week.
Coach, talking about senior day, a lot of these seniors are going to be honored on Saturday are holdovers from the previous staff. What is them staying and just being leaders meant to you and as you try to continue to build the program?
Yeah, man, I look across like our front. Okay, like there's some seniors, but none that were really here, other than DeMonte Smith. I can look at Parker Hughes. I can look at Nick Vadiato. Those guys, man, have played a lot of football here, or have been, a cornerstone of really teaching young guys how to practice and perform. Those guys have showed up every week. Those guys have played as consistent of football as seniors, even though the record may not show it. Those guys are going to be remembered for what they've done, and we need to make sure that we honor them the right way by playing well on Saturday in their last home contest here, Floyd Stadium.
And talking about that last home contest, given MTSU's kind of proud history of winning at Floyd Stadium, is there any added pressure trying to avoid a winless season at home?
Yeah, love to at all costs. Okay, this football team is going to have to play well. It's going to have to, show up in all 3 phases and really try to do something. And it's been hard for us to do consistently all year, which is a 60-minute ball game. I know we fought. I know we've played hard in ball games, but we sort of have to circle the wagons and really protect this house. And I mean it figuratively and literally. I mean, we have to protect this house. I mean, that's not lost on us.
And I know you spoke on it a little bit after the WKU game, but made a staff change last week, and you expect to analyze that more after the season. But do you expect any more before the season ends?
Man, right now, man, we're focused on getting ready for these guys to have a senior night. This is about the ball. I'm not gonna let like distractions, man, about staffing or other outside things, man, that's not the focus. The focus should be putting our student athletes in the best possible position to win. So, like that's what this staff is doing, and that's what we're going to continue to do.
Coach, obviously senior day, really special moment for the guys and your
Yeah.
staff. Just kind of talk about that and what a day like that means to the program.
Yeah, anytime you walk into a place, and I think we can all relate to, graduating or graduation. I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, you're having this last opportunity at home, to put on that uniform, that blue one more time in that locker room and taking that field. Those last chances, those last opportunities, man, they mean a lot. You sort of taste every moment of it. You savor it. Okay, it's been ritualistic for guys, over time, and you sort of take it for granted until like the end of this thing. When the end comes, man, you really start to understand how much it means to you. To be in the locker room with those guys and step on the practice field with those guys. So this week we'll have some emotional ties to it because every part of what you're doing, okay, will be for your last home contest, right? So with that, I'm sure for guys they'll be taking it in and processing it as they're preparing. But what they want to do is play well. So that's what it comes down to. Okay, how do you want to leave it? And everybody is renting, so you want to leave it better than the way you found it. So with that being said, that's what we got to do.
Obviously, have to prepare for the best version of Sam Houston
That's right.
That you could get, and they found a way to get off the mat on the road at Oregon State.
Mm-hmm.
What about them have you noticed that has carried them through to play some of their best football at the end of the year?
Coach Longo has continued, man, to keep those guys just playing hard, and I think that's a testament because it doesn't always go the way you want it to go. I've known Coach Longo for a long time, and we share some things in common, in terms of how we see football. But the reality is he's been close in ball games too. He's had opportunities where, man, they've had to fight through, and they have gotten up off the mat. And so with that, we're going to face a team, man, who's had to fight. They've gained some momentum. They've been able to put a win streak together, and with that now being part of the process, we're going to face a team who has to come in here and they got to win on the road, and we got to play well at home. So it's going to be two teams, men, fighting, and it's got to be a 60-minute ball game, and we got to make it so.
How has he changed the way that they play as opposed to the old staff that was there last year?
Well, I mean, it was a different team, right? A totally different team.
They all are now.
Yeah, I mean, he came through and really because Coach Longo got hired so late, and we talked about it. He had to deal with losing some of best players to the portal, okay, and really trying to replenish some of that was tough, like given the time frame. But I think what he's done, he's played hard with the guys that he has, and I think after this season, he'll reassess exactly where he has to go. But you've seen those guys continue to compete. They play two quarterbacks as well. When you look at like how they built it on offense and defensively, man, they play a lot of man. They play a lot of man coverage, a lot of bracket coverage, and that requires you having, waves of guys. So he's had to utilize playing waves of guys, and as young guys play, they get a little older. So for him, he's had to take some of the same philosophy that we've had to in terms of, trying to get some young guys reps so that those guys can grow up as fast as they can.
You've continued to beat the drum about explosive plays, and you got some at Western Kentucky last week. Gave up some, and obviously you want to cut those down. But with them playing as much man as they do, are those opportunities going to be there?
Well, they look to be there, right?
Yeah.
Man, but they did a good job versus Delaware. When I looked at the tape, man, I thought they were sticky. I thought they were sticky all the way around. I thought they did a good job in their two-man, their mans, their pressures. They got more pressure on the quarterback than I have really seen. From them. So I think therein lies the challenge. Okay, winning the one-on-ones. We've got to win our one-on-ones, and when you can do that, whether it's run or pass, it gives you a chance to have some explosives. So we're going to have to protect. We're going to have to find ways to be precise route runners, and we're going to have to play big when it comes to the run and pass.
Coach, you guys have played a lot of young players down the
Mhm.
stretch this season. When you look at guys like DJ Taylor or Roman or Chris Noble, so on and so forth, they've grown and become pretty good players for you guys.
Mhm.
You know, how exciting is the future for this Middle Tennessee program with guys like that coming into the fold?
Yeah, I think people have to go back, okay, man, and understand a little bit. Everybody, I mean, when they asked me what this team is going to be like before the season, I said, I don't know, man, because I had so many new guys, but I didn't understand what the chemistry was going to be like and where it would go. Here's what I'll tell you. We tried to build it in-house, okay, man. We tried to build it as much through the high school ranks as we have the portal, okay. So with that being said, man, there's going to be some growth, okay, like involved. And as the university has committed to making some things go forward, well, then we'll be able to make sure that we can have, you know, like the type of quality depth that we need in order to do some of the things that we want to do. With that said, it's my job to make sure that we can, you know, put the staff together that allows us to develop, okay, and as well as put schemes together, man, that allow us to compete. So I think as it's grown, okay, and some of these guys have grown, it's not just the freshmen, it's some of the redshirt freshmen too, right? And some of the redshirt sophomores, because a lot of those guys will now start to become juniors and sophomores, like in the process, and they will have played. So the only way you get better in this game is to play it. And that's where they will have gone in the last 2 years. So it's never for naught. It's about growth. It's about the opportunity to mature. Okay, man. You don't plant a tree and expect it to grow in 3 months. Okay, like what you expect it to do is grow, sun ups and sun downs, and as you water it, man, hopefully it gets stronger and bigger. And that's the development process, and that's the time that I think that we've tried to take through the process. Some guys have been rushed into it, but other guys have had a chance to sort of get their red shirt year, work their way through it. Okay, and now what you'll see is some growth and maturity and some underlying depth versus us just having to go get top heavy guys.
Anything else, Coach? Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it, Coach.